Well, if you've looked around lately, you might notice some plants are starting to dry up and die in this heat wave. 8 News Now reporter Mary Jane Belliesa went to the pros to get to the root of the problem.
The summer heat is hotter than ever, and Reggie Morlen at Star Nursery says even your hardiest desert plants may not have time to adjust in the heat.
They'll get scorched, even if you're doing proper care, just because they have to sit out there and just endure the temperature and the environment.
Morlen says this doesn't necessarily mean you have to water more, but focus on routine maintenance, as overwatering can actually drown your plants.
So when we water our plants, ideally we want a lot of water at one time, less often.
He says to keep an eye on potted plants in plastic containers, which may also overheat your plant's roots.
I tend to tell people to hand water all their pots, not to put it on irrigation. You can do that, but pots tend to dry out differently than the ground, whether it is more or less.
Star Nursery has also seen an influx of calls from the community asking for help about what to do with their garden during this heat wave. And Star Nursery also offers house calls with a doctor coming in to diagnose your garden if you need help.
Frequent questions Morlen has from customers is how to cover their plants.
So we best recommend people getting shade cloth, which we do have inside, anywhere from 50% coverage, 70% or 90%, and that's how much it cuts out of the sun.
He says a sunshade also works best if you have your plant in the wrong place and can't move it.
How we want to cover the plants is building more of a roof over them, rather than actually draping it.
While produce varies out in the heat, Morlen says the main issue will be direct sunlight. Bring vegetables inside if you can, or in the shade. If you have a dying tree, Morlen adds the right amount of fertilizer, water, and mulch may help bring it back to life. Mary Jane Belliesa, 8 News Now.
It's also important when you are purchasing your plants to look at the label that states which plants actually can take full sun or which ones do best in the shade.